Alright, the sound of minecarts moving adjacent over in that direction is should be an indication we're working with some redstone today. Mainly, well, I built an auto smelter, not one, but two auto smelters. The first one was kind of a prototype to test things out to see if I could put something like this together, and the second one was the actual production model. Let me go show you the first one. This monstrosity that is this mini monstrosity that is before us in the bedrock testing chamber. Yeah, I know this isn't even volatile, but I kind of wanted it to be out of the way and not impacting any of the rest of my build. So yeah, this was the first well, actually no, this was the third prototype. This was third and final prototype initially. It used way more hoppers than it did in the updated model. In fact, it uses like 9 less hoppers. That's about it. That's about the optimization I could squeeze out of it. But the mechanics of it are very much the same, especially with this top rail system, as you're about to see with the rest of it. I'm just gonna fly up and out of here. This does work, by the way. It is actually fueled right now, so we can just break those. If I take a stack of ancient debris and I put it in that chest, let's just wait a little bit and you'll be able to appreciate just how fast this is. Now, if you're just smelting a few items in this, or if you're smelting maybe a couple stacks, maybe more, maybe a few shulker boxes worth, you're gonna, obviously you could optimize this and add a shulker unload and unload system and have that be like an additional tower, but I wouldn't do that. I like to keep things simple here, and having this like the output allows for shulker boxes, a chest, really anything. Even if you want to do a direct connection to just your average storage system, that's what this allows for. Now, this is the more expensive version. I haven't time tested both of these to see if they do at the same rate. I think, yeah, that's done with the netherite scrap. Let's go over to the production model, and I'm going to show you this one. This one's a little bit more impressive than that one. This is the machinery room. This area is purely for just whenever I'm going to be working with mods, I want to have a way to smelt new ores and see what the smelting time on them is, as well as be able to collect those ores and drops. And this map is going to be working with 1.20 going forwards. Now, I am aware that villagers are going to be changed in 1.20.2, but I don't know if that Mojang is going to go ahead with that in full. I do know that you're going to have to make villager breeders in many different biomes, which may complicate things with super flat and getting mending. So mending might not be available for much longer. If you're doing super flat challenges, I'd recommend staying with 1.20.1 for as long as possible, because I don't know if Mojang intends to go through with adding this feature that they have planned, that they're tinkering around with it. It's an experimental feature, but if it does go through, you're gonna have a lot harder time getting mending in super flat worlds, because you're gonna need to do it in a swamp super flat, which, believe me, that's not gonna be fun, because villages don't spawn in the swamps outside of mods, which is unfortunate, but it just is how it is. Anyways, enough babbling about that. Let's talk about this. You may notice all the blocks that are in my inventory. Yes, that is blocks that I have used in the construction of this. Let's go. I'm gonna actually stuff in a bunch of ores here. We're gonna start with the classic iron. Coal ore we don't have to do. That's just wasting fuel. Diamond ore, that's wasting fuel. Nether gold ore, on the other hand, is not wasting fuel, because you get an ingot as opposed to just less than the amount of nuggets that you need to make a single ingot, unless you're using fortune. So this... it takes a little bit at a time. Now, you could obviously speed that up by adding one more minecart, but the problem with that is synchronizing it so they don't collide with one another. That's the only issue I've run into so far. But yeah, you could run a double minecart if you timed their if you had an exterior thing where you had them go in at similar times at the similar angle. Anyways, this is taking the iron ore. It should be dropping this down into this. It's dropping the netherite. Now it should be dropping the iron in. I can't really do item sorters in this. There's the... yeah, this can smelt multiple ores at once, by the way. As long as you don't clog up the system with too many ores, it's good. It doesn't have any item filters or anything in it, so there's really nothing to break. And it has overflow protection, by the way. So you have this internal volume here. All this, if I can scoot by there, this is overflow protection. This too kind of is overflow protection, but that's just individual outputs from the furnaces. That's so I don't have them feeding into one single chest. This build's kind of expensive, but it's not too expensive. There's obviously a lot of hoppers involved, so you're gonna need an already established iron farm, which I might build in this world. I might not. I don't know how I feel about... well, actually, no, I can't in this map's current state because it's peaceful mode. So the only way I can do it is by cheating in iron. So that, yeah, unless of course I do the cheaty thing and set up a mob spawner with iron golems and do it that way. But that's too much cheese for this map, and I don't want to deal with that. We already have these iron golems over here that are just supercharged on steroids, that protect this farm area when I do turn off peaceful mode for testing purposes, as you just saw. God, that's a terrifying... just imagine, like, you spawn into a world and golems are just this fast. They hit hard, and there's like, you don't really want to mess with them. Anyways, let's go back in and check out the ores that smelted up. I know I cheated them in, but I want to see if this... I also made sure to have room so you can access these hoppers and these chests and these. You can pretty much access all of this externally, but I wanted a pathway inside to make sure that everything. I just put in like a stack of iron. Where'd it go? Oh. That issue, huh? Yeah, occasionally this thing will need a little bit of a jump start, so I made sure to leave in these. Of course, if you do have to break a glass block, I'd recommend not doing this with glass in the first place. I just did it so you could see what was going on underneath, and it kind of just kept it because it looked kind of cool to see the rails underneath, and just see the machinery working. I hope this doesn't break every 5 seconds. But yeah, this smelts ores up quite quickly. It's quite nice. It's just a little industrial auto smelter. This is probably not good if you're doing like a lot of auto smelting, but if you're in a world that you haven't fully established yourself in and you really want something like this is the project for you. Also, this build doesn't take up much space. Like, look at this footprint. Compared to some of the other buildings, that's like, it's like a little bit smaller than this, but it's also almost twice the height. I was kind of just tinkering around with things to see if I could make a decent auto smelter, and this was the design I settled on. This is probably a design that someone else came up with. I don't know. I don't remember. I was just bored, so I made this. I wanted something that didn't use an excessive amount of hoppers, and I want something that sort of. I wanted minecarts that go around in an infinite loop. Now, this kind of breaks at times, but I don't know why. So. That's kind of a quirk of Minecraft that I'm just going to chalk up to a bug. Minecarts are buggy. I think everyone knows this. And of course, when you're done, you have your shulker box. You go over. There is a storage system. I say storage system in quotations because this isn't a storage. It's more of a chest room. Look at this chest monster. Even though it's a very organized chest monster, it's a chest monster nonetheless. You plop that in there. Excuse me. There we go. And there, that's it. Where'd I? Oh wait, did I move the netherite? I moved it into a different chest. I also have another chest monster. That chest monster is here. But yeah, this is the auto smelter that I just prototyped out. You can kind of hear it in the background, but you can't when we're doing showcase. You're not going to be able to hear it from over here because most of the showcases won't take us close enough for it to be heard. Like, you have to be in this corner right here to hear any of it. So yeah, this is far enough away. That's good. I nailed it on block placement, and yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Who knows? I might come up with I might add in another redstone machine to get some stuff out of the way, because there really isn't an option here for smelting ores, and not that that's needed, but I kind of want this to be semi-playable if I do want to switch this over into purely survival mode at some point in the future. I don't know. I want to set up a villager incinerator. Yeah, don't quote me on that, but that's just something I want to test out in the world. Make a massive baby villager farm and just have them be chucked into lava. Yeah, that sounded better in my head. Now it just sounds cruel. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm gonna do a video on going over just the basics and how I built this. I'm also gonna match this. I'm gonna rework this a little bit so it kind of lines up with the new model, because this is kind of the old test bed. So yeah, I'll leave this here for now. Eventually I'm gonna take it down because I will have to back up this world and port it to my other modded stuff, because yes, I don't know, I like this. Even though this isn't this, and the thing is, this is very space efficient. Considering how big these things can get, this is on like the smaller end. Oh, I didn't replace the shulker box. Let's go do that. The different color this time, orange. Anyways, let's wrap this video up here. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. This was a fun video. This is a fun little video that I just making. And yeah, until next time, this is Zyphros, and I'm signing off.